remember, you can distance yourself from something to learn how to appreciate it. Your dogs, I drive trucks for now a lot, and I don't get to see my dogs. I love my dogs. Everybody knows that's like Elijah and dogs go together. They just do. In all my videos, you'll see, my reels, my shorts, you'll see me just like interacting with random dogs, just like, cause like you probably see a lot of dogs random on the day, but you don't think anything of it. But I get down, sometimes they want to play with me, sometimes they don't. But it's just something I appreciate because that distance has been there and I formed a healthy relationship with it. Or a relationship, either way, I formed a bond with it. A lot of us have formed bonds with food. So you can't go without food for a long time. And there's days that you don't have time to eat breakfast and you don't have time to eat in the, lunch, and you're like, I haven't eaten all day, right? This will give you a good idea as to where the healthiness is in your relationship with something when you abstain from it and whether you appreciate it or not. Because I think if you can appreciate something, you can appreciate being away from it as well, if you're conscious of what's going on and aware of what's taking place. I don't want this video to be too long, 15 minutes. You can't really keep someone's attention that long. So I might take this audio and chop it up and put it over another video, but I'm still gonna post this. This is how you'll know how healthy your relationship is with something that you are learning to appreciate or may have or have not appreciated. Once you distance yourself from that thing, the further away you get from it, there's two ways. The further away you get from it, are you cranky? Are you irritable? Are you sad? Right? If you could still be in the middle, like here, sadness, depression, anger, rage, right? But the closer, here it is. And the further away this way you get from it, the more of those kind of negative emotions, right? Then on this side, the further away you get from it, relief, happiness, joy, bliss, right? This way. When you get away from that thing, you should still be right here in the middle, right here in the center. You should be centered, right? But if you're going this way, sad, depressed, lonely, anxious, that means you were very attached and dependent on this thing. Whatever this is right here that had you feeling like you were centered, right? It had you feeling like you were centered, but no, because once it went missing, sad, depressed, angry, confused, anxious, upset, right? And then you weren't attached to this. You were attached to it, but it was very toxic. It's like Stockholm syndrome. You're kind of addicted because now you've gone so long without it, and you can go this way so far and end up on this part of the continuum because it's an infinite continuum, right? So it's kind of more like this, an infinite array of emotions. And now you're like, oh, I'm happy, I'm blissful, I'm relieved, I'm joy. Because you were addicted to something. Like, imagine being a crack addict, right? Of course, you get off of it depressed, angry, da-da-da-da-da. And then, boom, you start saying like, whoa, I feel better. I haven't drank or I haven't smoked in years. Da-da-da-da, this is my best life because you're that far from it. And then you can find your center again, right? Food. If you've gone long terms without fasting, after that first day, sometimes if you've been eating shitty, you're like, man, this shit's hard. I want some sugar. I want some insulin. Then, day 2 comes. You're like, ooh, took another poop. You're like, damn, why am I still pooping? I feel kind of better. I feel lighter. I have more energy. Day 3 gets a little rocky, right? You're like, man, the thoughts start creeping in. Can I do this, right? You're away from the center. The food's right here. You're real far away. 3 days is a lot for a lot of people. And you're just really far from that. But after you get further and further from the food, you start to say like, man, what was I eating all that food for? I didn't even need that. I'm good right now, yo. Let's go. I can do this. You're drinking water, you're drinking your teas, you're having coffee, you got so much energy, you're burning fat, you're in ketosis, autophagy's kicked in. All this stuff has started to happen. So there's two parts of this, right? Going without can show you is the only way you can actually appreciate something, because after you're done, you come back to the food. Water, good. Smoothie, good. Fruit juice, so good, so sweet. Insulin spikes up. Then you get back to the center, right? Going without is the only way you can learn to appreciate something. And how you act, how your body acts, and how you react to being without said thing will show you what your relationship is with that thing. Remember, if you get away from something that you've been around for a long time and you still remain centered, I would say that you have a healthy relationship with that. If the moment you detach from that thing, give it some time, you start feeling weird and you go weeks and months, you're crying, you're calling, you're using your phone, you're trying to distract yourself, and you have to even think about that thing, you gotta reevaluate your relationship and your perception with that thing. Stay disciplined, stay in tension. This is gonna be a 20-minute video. I'll break it up into part 1 and part 2 because most people don't have that attention span. But thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe this. I'm trying to get everybody aware about what discipline and intention is and their role in raising your level of ability, capacity, and perception as a human being.